September. I don't even remember when. A long fucking time ago. It's just
Var
gone.
got 20 laptops. Didn't you say you got 20 laptops?
Yeah, like 21 now.
21 now. Oh, so that's where your laptop went, Jenny.
Oh, motherfucker, man. Oh, Jack and my old ass.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
Almost ready. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Canna-Joe Morning Show live. Today is November 12th, Friday, November 12th. I'm Michael Ford.
And I'm Jenny.
Alicia.
Dab and Dave on location.
Damn. Hey, it's your boy Var the man. Thank you guys for joining us today. We got an awesome show for you guys. We got some articles. We're going to be talking about something that's going on in Ohio around their medical marijuana for patients. We're going to talk about something in Mexico where they're blaming the U.S. for some shit. And then we're going to talk about the DEA. We got a whole show for you guys. We got events. We also got some weather for you as well. So stay tuned for all of that. But first, let's hop into it with this first article out of...
My fault, Var.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Before we get into that, man, I missed the show yesterday. Sorry, you guys missed you. Shout out to all the veterans. If I didn't get my Veterans Day shout out, man, thank you guys all for your service. Yeah, I wasn't much on social media yesterday, but huge shout out to all the veterans. Sorry about the late shout out, but we're here, we're live, and thank you for your service. Ari, the man, bam, there you go.
Tight.
Ab and Dave.
All right, so...
Ab, do you need the link today? Okay, no.
Where are we at? Here we go. All right, so this first article out of Ohio. The Ohio Senate bill would allow medical marijuana for any patient who can reasonably be expected to benefit. Man,
Wow.
that would be huge. That would be huge. So Ohio senators have filed legislation that represents a broad revision of the state's medical marijuana system. Among the changes is language expanding access to the drug if a physician reasonably believes their patient's symptoms would be relieved or they would otherwise benefit from marijuana. Its potentially massive expansion of eligibility for patients after years of piecemeal additions to the list of qualifying conditions. But for the bill's sponsor, Senator Steve Huffman, and he's doing marijuana bills, that's funny. A streamlined regulatory structure is the measure's primary aim. The biggest example is the Department of Pharmacy regulates dispensaries, and the Department of Commerce regulates cultivators. So if we own one of each, you have to go to each one to make business decisions. He notes the Department of Pharmacy will still manage a database of prescriptions through Ohio's automated RX reporting system, or ORS, but most oversight will fall under the preview of a new division, Marijuana Control House, in the Commerce Department. Huffman also believes the measure will encourage the department to offer more licenses as the market grows, but put pressure on license holders to bring products to market rapidly. I know the need. I know what we did in 2016 was just the smallest of fractions of what was needed here in Ohio, Yoko said. What this bill does is trying to move us in the right direction. Is it all inclusive? Not even close. Does it cover all the issues I want covered? Not yet. Meanwhile, the proposal is competing for attention with 3 recreational marijuana proposals, 2 in the State House, and a 3rd at the ballot box. Huffman and Yoko both draw a distinction between medical and recreational cannabis, insisting that their measure and the other ideas are completely different conversations. But as the universe of qualifying patients expands, the distinction between recreational and medical gets blurry. A notable aspect left out of Huffman and Yoko's measures are provisions for home cultivation. Boo! Both measures in the House make allowances for it. Democratic reps Casey Weinstein and Hudson of Terrence Upchurch of Cleveland would allow up to 12. Meanwhile, Republican reps Jamie Callender of Concord and Ron Ferguson of Winterville would allow 6 plants with up to 2 of them flowering. Okay, well, no, that doesn't, so then you'd have to, okay, alright. The ballot measure would allow homegrown marijuana as well, capping the amount to 6 plants per person and no more than 12 per residence. Yoko doesn't oppose giving Ohioans latitude to grow their own, noting some constituents have complained about long drives to dispensaries. I think it's fair, Yoko said. I think it's fair. As for a specific amount, Yoko said he'd leave the determination to the experts. But Huffman is skeptical of home cultivation. He worries it might support illicit sales and become a magnet for theft. He also contends restricting production to regulated growers is for consumer safety consideration. I don't know what other medicine you grow or make yourself at home, Huffman says, and so that's why we're staying away from home grow, is to keep the quality up. Yet the government is growing Huff. Okay, whatever. So
Make their own medicines all the time. Then.
yeah, there's a whole multi-billion-dollar industry around making your own medicines at home, or at least naturopathic medicines.
That's the problem. They don't want you to grow at home because then all the ones that's got that huff they growing, that's what they want to sell everybody.
They don't get the taxes.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's crazy. But I think it's pretty cool that they're looking to basically give doctors the ability to be like, well, if I think you can reasonably benefit from it, I can prescribe it to you. I think if that initiative passed along, that'll be huge, and it might set a precedent for other states and their medical programs to be like, you know, if maybe we should leave the decision making for their medical health up to the medical professionals rather than the lawmakers.
Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we
yeah. I was looking for this next
I was
accidentally
looking for
deleted.
some music, man.
Oh, here, watch this.
Hey, Dave, man, you got a favorite Naughty Northern track?
No place like home.
No Place Like Home. It's
I
Friday,
think
y'all.
user.
It is Friday.
But we all know our loyal Facebook user is watching us. So
We do.
hello.
Shout out to the Facebook user every morning. Shout out Vaughn.
Shout out,
Oh,
Oh
Melissa.
shit, what up, Vaughn? What's up, bro?
Hold on a second, Joe. My fault.
Oh yeah, I don't even
Shout
got
out
my
to Dab
Facebook
and
screen
Dave.
up. Dab and Dave,
Forgot to
yeah.
share- I forgot to share the audio, so I was listening by myself.
See, that's what happens when you forget to share
Hey.
the audio.
It's all fucked up.
Hand me a cold one, old son. Listen, I can hear my kin folks 1 ton coming down the road. Let the fire glow. Hang up the day, all the work's done. We gotta find a way to get me a person. Got no place to go. No place like home.
Bourbon, suburban, bumping that bourbons and lax. No limit to my sipping of that bourbon out back. We all gathered around the homestead, throwing them back. Horseshoes with that ringer, sinking cornhole chicken with them sauces and it's hitting. Forget about the world, it just keeps on spinning. Country boys and girls and we just keep on winning. Rocking all across the world and we just keep on living it up.
And I will never be better off. I won't sell my soul to take the pressure off. I drink enough to feel a metal trough. They don't even call the doctors, they just let them call. I guess my life ain't half bad. My son got a hook shot, he got it from his granddad. And even though we got laughed at, we were hella thankful just to have that. Come on.
Hand me a cold one, old son. Listen, I can hear my kinfolks 1 ton coming down the road. Whoa. Let the fire glow. Whoa. Hang up the day, all the work's done. We gotta find a way to get me a person. Got no place to go. Whoa. No place like home.
You can hear me coming down the road. No place anywhere quite like home. Rather your family, friend or foe. Kinfolk know where the buffalo roam. Big rigs, listening. We blow out smoke and distillate. Got a new spot, let's Christian it. A hot one there, she's signaling. Good times, good vibes. Birds fly high, I'm missing it. Ain't got no place to go. There's no place quite like home. Lay my head where I roam. Bass is bumping, tires are humming. Peace pipes are puffing. Hits I'm a hunting.
Chiefing like an Indian, rolling on the Indian. Chief on these beats in the streets, feel the heat. Ain't no place like home where the bluegrass grows. Ain't no wildcats roam. Yeah, we rolling on it homegrown. Working till the day's done. Now it's time to have some fun. Pull up with a handle, then we'll sip it till we see the sun. But for right now, you know it's on and popping in the hillside, rocking. Got them country folks flocking. Come on.
Shout out Naughty Northern.
Hey.
This Friday.
Yeah, big shout out to the good old boys in Twang and Round who were also in that video.
Yep. Shout out Jason, Vika, all you guys.
And just for you notice, I'm not sure on this first day, December 15th and January 22nd, the Naughty Northern will be playing at the Hastings Coliseum Bar in Hastings.
Dope. Hastings.
I don't want a cold one. I just want a rolled one.
You say yeah.
Exactly.
So with that, Dave, what's the weather looking like, man?
Oh yeah! Weather's brought to you by windy.com. If you need to know what's going on outside, just click on windy.com. You can also just look outside the window. And just as we started to snow, or just as we started to show, I noticed that it started snowing down here. So we are on the
windy.com.
We're on the corner of Fulton and Ontario. We're from the Health Surgery Center. And yeah, it's cloudy. It's cold. It's starting to pick a tape. Yeah, it's probably going to be this for the rest of the day. Even through the night. So I know my yard right now down south is white, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get in the cities. I don't think you guys are going to get a lot. I think most of this stuff's going to melt, and well, for sure by Tuesday it will all melt. So otherwise, yeah, tomorrow should be still cool and windy, and up north you guys are going to be hitting a little second round, so could be up to 10 inches up there. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to you guys. Audio
for the weather, Dab and Dave. Var, do we have another article, or should we go into these events?
Yeah, let's knock out those events because we did miss them yesterday. So I think it's important that we hit them because we do not
miss
want
the
to forget
events.
them. Yeah, man, we was rushing through it. It's like looking at the clock. Yeah.
Hey,
like,
man, the human race.
Yep.
So we do got a lot of things going on this week. Coming up this month, we've got 3 events. 2 in 1 day. So if you want to get involved in the efforts to legalize marijuana in Minnesota, Go to mennormal.org. Get involved. There is an annual meeting this 20th, November 20th at 11 p.m. at 4200 Cedar Avenue. Come down. You can see some of the activists working to legalize marijuana in Minnesota. Get involved with the efforts. We are going to need you guys' help going into 2022 to make sure we pass legislation and support legislators that want to see the best for Minnesota. After that, in the evening, we got Charlie Black Reggae concert at Muse. If you want to come through and hang out with the crew, come through and chill with us. It's going to be a dope event. Make sure you reach out to me. You can find the event on Facebook. Join the event. If you need tickets, you can hit me up. Otherwise, if you're a PIN member for Min Marijuana, you get in free to all of our events. I guess that's one of the perks. So let me know if you want to go, and you get in for free. On the 27th, we got Jadakiss coming out. Come out and check it out with us. We're going to be chilling there, turning it up, getting to know the community. I think that's it. Is that all the events we got coming up for November?
Yeah, I think that
might have
covers
some
all of
secret,
them.
might have a secret top super underground pop-up. I'll let you know more details about that via email. If you don't got my email, if you don't get none of my messages, go to minmarijuana.com, click on the subscribe, and then you'll get all the emails that I send out when I start sending those out. Barry, are we sending out emails yet? I don't think so.
Nah, but we gonna just,
we should. It's crazy. We're gonna send you an email. Make sure you go subscribe. We're gonna send you an email. Should we do some type of giveaway for this weekend?
I think we should.
For the 20th, Charlie Black.
Yeah.
I got tickets for Charlie Black. We'll do this week, and then we'll do some tickets for Jadakiss too. So a pair of tickets, 1 or 2 pairs. What do you think, Barry?
A pair meaning 2.
Meaning 2 tickets.
Okay. Yeah.
But
and a pair.
2 pair
would be 4 tickets in total.
4
okay.
tickets.
Yeah, and you could bring a squad with you, a small squad.
Well, but it would be 2 different people.
Yeah. Okay, so they could link up to be a squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
The situation is.
Yeah. All right.
We'll give you the details. We'll put something up. We're gonna give away 2 tickets to Charlie Black. We're also gonna give away 2 tickets to Jadakiss at the Muse. Keep your eyes open for those details. We'll drop them in Minnesota Marijuana, also in the events. What else? Is that it, Barry? I think that's it on the events.
Yeah. Yep. And I was actually wondering, like, underground. Like, I wonder, like, where that started. For like the terminology for like all the stuff that is
in
like,
the cave, underground.
Because underground, I think it was considered that way.
Harriet
So
Tubman? The Underground Railroad? The Underground Network? Hey, I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe we could Google that. Underground.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Underground.
Tight. Well,
I know we got a lot of guests on here, man. I mean, Fridays we try to keep it, a little different than the regular week, man. If there's any Facebook user that wants to join us live, what time are we getting off today, Vari? We'll say for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, sounds
20
good.
minutes. So we're gonna be on for the next 20 minutes. If you want to jump on live, drop a comment in the comments. Say send me the link, and we'll send you the link where you can jump on our live this Friday. Right now.
Hey, we got some hardy people in the state. I just saw a kid go by on a skateboard with shorts on.
Ooh. It's Minnesota.
Man, there's always a couple.
Just because it's gonna snow doesn't mean it's cold.
Always. It's funny. Yeah, so this other article, I'm just gonna talk about it real quick because I think we could probably just have a little giggle at it. But the Mexico's Senate president is blaming the U.S. for a failed criminalization of marijuana in their country. They're saying that because of the policies of the U.S. and their war on drugs and war on marijuana, it caused their country to have fucked up policies, which in turn fucked up their citizens as well. And this is right before they're getting ready to take a vote to legalize in Mexico. So it's funny because like over the last year, they've been working towards legalization in discussions, and like Senate members have been like gifting each other on the Senate floor like marijuana plants and shit, and like talking about how like, oh, I'm gonna go put this in my garden. So it's like, you know, it's definitely one of those things that is like openly talked about over there, and it's gonna happen really soon. But I think they're in the point now where this guy's like pointing out like, if the U.S. hadn't been so fucked up in the first place, we would have did this, and our country would have prospered a long time ago.
Man, my fault.
See, just if they just go ahead and legalize here, man.
Yeah. Well, and then I think the other part of it too is like, you know, you think about like country relations and all that. We had a story last year where we were talking about like the United Nations Accord or something like that, where like, you know, marijuana was like on this worldwide list of plants or drugs that wasn't supposed to be fucked with, and they just descheduled it or rescheduled it last year. And so I think part of that was like the US's hard stance on the war on drugs. And then as things started to relax in the US, I think other countries were like, oh, I think we can chill, especially Israel. That's like where all of the like main studies and shit have been coming from, has been out of Israel. All the positive studies.
Did you hear about how during the with the lockdown, like they had drones and stuff dropping like bags off to like all the residents and stuff, man. That's crazy.
I do remember that. I do remember that. That shit was tight.
There's some crazy stuff going on. I know, Barney, I sent you that other article in Washington where they destroyed $3 million worth of plants instead of putting it into the system, you know, donating it to other legal markets. But they're saying that it was a square footage issue and they weren't counting the space between the plants. So they say they've been in non-compliance this whole time. So they came and burned half their crop.
Oh, wow. That's so fucked up.
Right, that's what I was wondering. Like, whenever they do all them busts and stuff, why don't they like give me to like one of the dispensaries or something, you know, or something like that? They literally like, oh, okay, let's go burn this. Now you got the whole hood high. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the purpose of burning it? I mean, it's still in the air.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess just so you can't have it. So you can't smoke it, so they can't make no money off it. Well,
I know in the metro area, they don't just burn it. They brought it to the steel plant down off of, where is it, 494 and like 61, and they would throw it into their furnace.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a controlled environment, goes out the smokestacks.
Well, and then with all the metal and shit that they're melting too, you know, all them fumes are mixed into it, so it's not, you know. That's just some personal insight. I used to know somebody that worked at the steel mill, and he would tell me about it, how the cops come in with all this weed and go throw it in the furnace.
Leave that with me, officer. I'll make sure that gets burned right away. Right away.
Immediately. I need a couple of friends to help me along the way. You know, we have to gather up all this evidence and stuff so we can get rid of it for you guys.
Hell yeah. Oh, you need somebody to sign for that? Yep. Oh, shit. Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But I'm hoping that, you know, as we continue to see, like, legislation change nationally, that'll change as, you know, decriminalization and rescheduling or descheduling, all that stuff happens, legalization on a federal level. States might be like, okay, well, like, how can we repurpose this instead of just destroying it? When, you know, maybe they have a market where maybe they'll just take it and flip it, and then it goes into the police coffers, which, I don't know, maybe that's better. Maybe that's how they pay themselves. And then all the other state money they be getting just goes to, like, I don't know, education or something.
Right?
But as
I think they should burn it.
right outside my house. They can burn it. I have a fire pit they can use. I got a lighter they
Yeah,
can
man.
start it with right here.
Right, just donated Tara the tent, the hot box tent.
No, yeah, shit. We'll just make that a whole company, the Hot Box Company, and then we'll just show up at events with the Hot Box tent. Just
Yeah, just burn all the bad hemp.
hell yeah.
Hot box headache.
It's more like a gas
That's
tent.
basically, it's pretty much the same weed that they've been using to test. You know, it's got a little extra THC in it.
Right.
Not 0.3, but 0.7.
Yeah, 0.7. Double the limit.
Burn that. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And I know in Minnesota, that was kind of funny. The first, you know, well, not actually, it wasn't funny. When they did pass the hemp stuff, I know a bunch of people were super excited to get involved in growing hemp in Minnesota. And like they all spent all this money getting their stuff together, man. Some people ended up getting bad seeds. Some people grew tons and tons and tons of hemp thinking they were going to cash in on the market, and their plants were just slightly over the limit, man. Think about how much money that farmer lost because of a 0.2, you know, or something like that. Like something ridiculous. And it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I think they're getting better at it now as more people are growing hemp. I'm sure they're getting better sources for seeds, but it's ridiculous. We just got to legalize it, man. Hemp in its own is a whole industry. Like, and if your plant has a little bit too much THC in it, you got to burn everything down. I think THC should be, I don't know, definitely not measured by points.
Exactly, because it can be a lot, but it don't mean it's good.
Then I guess they're concerned about the concentration. If you know what I'm saying, turn it into a concentrate, obviously the THC level goes up. But even at 0.3, I mean, how many times are you gonna have to concentrate that?
Takes a lot.
To get to smoking a joint. Have you guys ever smoked a hemp joint? Or a CBD joint?
Yeah, I have. It's not very pleasant.
And just my thoughts. They're like, yeah, you get some CBD out of a CBD joint, but how much CBD are you actually getting out of a joint? I mean, just my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it depends, I suppose. So, like, if you have, let's say you have a very high CBD content flower that is like, I don't know, let's say 20% for a nice round even number. 20% CBD. So if you smoke a 1 gram joint, that means that you're getting 0.2 grams, so 200 milligrams of CBD. Right?
Every compound is different. It affects people a different way.
So if you don't use any cannabis at all and you smoke CBD, you're gonna be like, yeah.
You'll feel it.
If you smoke weed and you smoke CBD, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
we need a CBD
something to
person
smoke,
on
my
here.
opinion.
I don't know. I think there's people who enjoy smoking weed for the taste of the flower, but don't necessarily like getting like super high. And so I think that's where like CBD could be that in between, where like if CBD flower were growing really good and had really good terpene profile and tastes really good and shit, where people could be like smoke that, you know, at work or whatever and still get like, you know, the pleasure of like the terpenes and the flavor and like the ritual of smoking and all that shit without getting super fucked up. So I think it still has a role to play.
I think it all has a role to play, you know. And I have a CBD company and I work with local growers, but I'm more interested in learning, you know, the process. You know, how did they grow these plants? You know, how do they measure? You got to think all the science that's involved with making sure that that plant grows and its level is at 0.3. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's interesting stuff. We should have some. I don't think. Who did you say we had? Jared on from Extract Labs one time. But I know that they usually talk about the machines for extracting, but like Bridget Pender, Grounded Gardens, some of those guys, the local
But
people.
We need like
they make extract also.
Okay.
I got this dude's card at the thing from Loon Lab Extracts and Research.
Hmm.
Gabriel Hansen. I could give him a call.
Yeah,
See
I've
if he
been
would.
And what
talking
about
with Loon Labs too, because by me going to that cannabis college, we have to research and find out a lot about all the people, that's in the cannabis industry in Minnesota. So, wow, it's
hey,
hard.
Vari,
Yo,
Vari,
Yeah,
what do you know?
Extract Labs also makes their own CBD concentrates. They have a
Right.
whole line.
Vari, have you heard of what is it, 40 acres?
yep.
They have a
Yeah.
farm too, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure where their farm is. I was on their website the other day. But yeah, I wonder if they have a processing center as well.
Right. I know Jeff Brinkman too. Superior Cannabis. Shout out Crested Rivers. There's a lot of cannabis companies in Minnesota, man, and it'd be dope to get them to come on and talk about their products and the process, because a lot of it is education. You want to know what it is that you're smoking. You want to know what you're taking. You want to know if it was grown right, and that's going to be one of the huge issues with safety as we get closer to a legal market. If it's not regulated in a way to make sure the products that you're getting are good and not some trash, some snake oil, some, puff, you definitely don't want to get it from the government. But anyway,
Right.
Bad pesticides or nutrients that shouldn't be in it.
The snake oil is what got me. I don't want that.
yeah.
The snake oil. Yeah.
So
Damn.
yeah, man, we're looking for a CBD business for next Friday. So if you got a business and you have some knowledge about CBD, please shoot me a message, shoot Vari a message. One of us will be able to put you on there. Leisha, Jenny, Dave, you can shoot them a message as well, because they'll make sure the message gets to the right space. But yeah, I think, was there another article, Vari?
Yeah, actually, this one was out of the DEA's office, and this is just a quick follow-up article on the quotas for DEA's production for testing and stuff for different stuff. So, anyways, I'm gonna just go down this map right here. So earlier this year, when we talked about it, I think in 20. So this green one was the when we were talking about, we had the articles about how much they wanted. Well, the numbers increased quite a bit. So earlier in the year, we're looking at 1,500 grams of psilocybin, 1,000 grams of psilocin. All these are in grams. As you go down the numbers, 2,000 for marijuana. And then at the end of the year, they finalized for 2021, they increased the psilocybin by 4 times, the psilocin by almost 4 times. And you go down the list, you can see the MDMA is shot way up, DMT is way up, marijuana stayed the same. But then they had the projections for 2022, which looks like they actually cut the amount of psilocybin down in half, and almost the same for psilocin, which is the compounds in mushrooms. MDMA stayed the same, DMT dropped dramatically, but they did increase marijuana, and they did increase marijuana extracts as well, and other tetrahydrocannabinoids. LSD increased almost 12-fold, over 12-fold. Mescaline over 4 times. 5-MeO DMT was increased almost 16 times, and MDMA almost 4 times. So basically, the agency is going to be putting in a lot of money into research. The National Institute of Drug Abuse Director Nora Volkow, which we had that article about her yesterday, and her remarks on the way that the government has led to the stigma around drug addiction. She said To Marijuana Moment, in a recent interview, that she was encouraged by the DEA's previous proposed increase in drug production quota. She also said that studies demonstrating the therapeutic benefits of psychedelics could be leading more people to experiment with substances like psilocybin. But while the production developments are promising, advocates are still frustrated that these plants and fungi remain on the strictest drug category in the first place, especially considering the existing research that shows their medical value for certain conditions. The federal appeals court recently dismissed a petition to require the DEA to reevaluate cannabis scheduling under the Controlled Substance Act. However, one judge did say in a concerning opinion that the agency may soon be forced to consider a policy change anyway based on misinterpretation of the therapeutic value of marijuana. Meanwhile, DEA has given hemp businesses that sell Delta 8 THC products a boost, with representatives making comments recently signaling that at the federal level, at least, it's not a controlled substance at this time. Separately, the Washington State Attorney General's office and lawyers representing cancer patients recently urged a federal appeals panel to push for DEA policy change to allow people in end-of-life care to access psilocybin under state and federal right to try laws. So yeah, I think even advocates in high places are seeing that this change is coming and it needs to come, and whether the DEA wants it to come or not, that it's going to come. So they better just start making them changes, or they're going to find themselves stuck in a place they don't want to be.
Behind.
Right, man. I'm curious. What up, man? I see you made it on. You sent
Oh
that
man,
message.
finally.
Right. Hey, so I'm curious, what's your thoughts about legalizing all drugs?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hard.
I feel like there was an example in some countries where when they legalized all drugs, the drug use actually went down and crime went down. So, I mean, there are examples where it could be effective. Whether it be effective here in the United States, I don't know, man. I know that, like, heroin, opiates, that shit is fucking death. That shit is
Didn't they
death.
do that in Portland?
Yeah, that shit is death. So, I mean, I don't know.
Dave,
don't
you
know.
said they did something like that in Portland?
I thought they passed in Portland where they decriminalized all drugs.
Yes,
Small
they
amounts.
did.
So I think they did.
Curious how that's going.
We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
much activity as normal going on that it normally would in Oregon, but it's quiet as well. So yeah, maybe we should research and see what's really going on.
No, I've just heard that thrown out a couple times, but yeah, man, it gets sticky. That
Well,
whole
I feel like for sure the natural 100% natural drugs that are like plants and fungus should
They
never
didn't
have
have
been illegal in the
medical
first
value.
place. It's like there are poisonous plants that you can find in the wild that are not illegal. Like you can go walk in the wild and like pick them and then eat them and then die, and they're not illegal. So it's like, why would you make this shit that you can't overdose on, that expands your mind, heals you, allows you to relieve pain without using opiates, allows you to concentrate, allows you to relieve stress, all these different things. Why would you make them illegal? But we all know the reason why.
You can even grow
What do
poppies.
y'all think?
Poppies. It's not illegal to grow poppies.
He hit the corner down there.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Isn't poppy seeds like an opioid or something?
Right. That's what they use to make heroin. But the plant itself, it's not. I mean, my grandma used to grow them, or my grandpa used to grow them because my grandma would make poppy seed kolache. I remember being a little kid, using them like a little shaker, because they dry and they'd have the pods and they. So, yeah, I mean, you can do that, but as soon as you try to process it, now you get into the legality of it. So, as I said, if it's got medical value, it shouldn't be illegal.
Right. Well, we got a couple minutes. Man, Terry, thank you for getting on, man. Good to see you. Oh, I know you still there somewhere.
I think he jumped
Shout
in his
out to the
pocket.
Facebook users. Shout out to YouTube. Where else we at? Twitter, Instagram. I don't think we're on Instagram. We got to get on these other platforms. I don't know how we can get on there during the live, but shout out to everybody for tuning in. Bar, you want to get us up out of here with some words of wisdom?
Yup, I sure do. So, the only person you are destined to become is a person you decide to be. When your past calls, don't answer it, because it has nothing new to say. With that, love you guys. Don't forget to check us out on, when was we gonna do that giveaway? This weekend? Oh yeah, don't forget to go to Minnesota Marijuana. Subscribe so you can get that email. minmarijuana.com. Go check it out. And then we'll see you guys on Monday. Yeah, stay frosty or stay warm. Frosty. Yeah, stay frosty because it's gonna be cold. Yeah.
Stay frosty.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
You've been there before.
Yeah, did you see his
okay.
little green thing he had pinned to his chest that tells him when they're calling him so he can, go wander around or, go to the cafeteria or like whatever. Yeah, my mom had back surgery there, so that's why I was there.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Well, thank you guys for jumping on. Vari, we got a couple things, then we got to take a break. We got 1 o'clock with Anthony. Is that right?
Nope, 11.
Oh,
Nope, 5 minutes
Right
ago.
now.
all right. See you guys soon tomorrow.
See you later.
All right.
Peace.
Stay safe,
Peace.
everybody.